Good afternoon and welcome to WEFM's Midday News, brought to you with the kind compliments of Court St. Vincent Limited.
Keeping up with the kids' growth spurts might mean it's time for a bigger fridge. Don't worry, at Quartz, we've got you. Save $1,000 on a Midday 30 cubic feet side-by-side fridge. Or maybe you're ready to turn your home entertainment up a notch. That means a larger TV. We've got you with an LG 70-inch Smart UHD 4K TV. Excited about making your new home feel more like you? We've got you. Get the Perth 3-piece living room set with a cup holder for only $4,999. Or shop Ashley Furniture Clearance for great deals and free furniture pieces today. Need a better mattress for more restful sleep? We've got the size and comfort that's right for you. Save $400 on a Restonic Comfort Care Pillow Top Queen mattress. Shop today and pay later. Whatever you need, we've got you. With up to 30% off store-wide. Quartz, bringing value home.
Welcome back to WEFM's Midday News, brought to you with the kind compliments of Court St. Vincent Limited. I am your presenter, Rajiv Providence. First, on the local scene, Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonsalves has put out an offer to persons looking for lands to farm on. The Prime Minister said anyone interested in having 5 acres of land to plant produce can reach out to him, and he will make lands available to them to work on just for $1 a year. We hear more from the Prime Minister.
Any 2, 3, 4, 5 young people, or not so young persons, who want 5 acres of land to work. I have some lands out in the country. I let them work it for themselves. All they have to do, I'll have an agreement with them. They have to pay me just $1 for the whole year with an agreement, because I want nothing what you have, because I don't want you to be on it without the agreement you think is your land. It's my own. But I allow you to use it.
That was the Prime Minister, Dr. Ralph Gonsalves. Prime Minister Gonsalves first offered his personal lands for agricultural use on October 16th of last year. However, he said that no one had taken him up on the offer at that time. Police have arrested and charged a cat operator and farmer for possession of a controlled drug and drug trafficking. According to a release from the Royal St. Vincent and the Grenadines Police Force, the RSVGPF, 53-year-old cat operator Rudolph Marshall and 52-year-old farmer Seville Kerr allegedly had in their possession 554 grams of cannabis with the intent to supply it to another for the purpose of drug trafficking. The RSVGPF states that the offenses were committed at the Kingston Wharf at about 5:50 p.m. on April 11th. Marshall and Kerr of Lomans Leeward and Bayabu respectively appeared before the Serious Offences Court. Marshall pleaded guilty to the offense of possession of a controlled drug and was fined $500. He also pleaded not guilty for drug trafficking, which was withdrawn. Kerr pleaded guilty to possession of a controlled drug and drug trafficking. He was fined for the $500 easy offense of drug trafficking and was reprimanded and discharged for the offense of possession of a controlled drug. Still on the local scene, Minister of Tourism, Civil Aviation, Sustainable Development and Culture Carlos James has reiterated his support for creatives here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Minister James said if the local talent is not effectively harnessed, there is a serious risk of a significant amount of that talent not being realized. We hear more from Minister James.
I want to say to our creatives that you have my fullest support. I'm working with you, and I want to listen to you. I want to see how we can germinate the ideas, bring them to fruition, and so we can really take the creative sector on a new level. And I know there's tremendous talent, but if we don't harness this talent, if we don't work with a number of persons who are involved in artistic direction of where we see the vision of of our creative sector and our orange economy moving towards. A lot of the talent that is there will not be realized.
That was the Minister of Tourism, Civil Aviation, Sustainable Development and Culture, Carlos James. The minister was at the time speaking at the media conference of the School Bands Showcase on Monday, April 15th. The showcase will be held on Saturday, April 27th at the cruise ship terminal lawn from 1 p.m., beginning with a fair, steel pan performances, and young DJs entertainment, followed by the showcase. The concept for this year's showcase is Free Up, where each school band will perform for 15 minutes. On to news in the region. Following reports of faulty landing gear discovered during test flights of a recently acquired Liat 2020 aircraft, officials have moved quickly to purchase new parts. Prime Minister of Antigua and Barbuda Gaston Brown confirmed the reports over the weekend, but assured that new parts have been sourced. The airline must undergo the test flight process to obtain its Air Operator Certificate AOC before commencing regular scheduled flights. The Antiguan Prime Minister noted that the other two aircraft the government seeks to purchase from the Caribbean Development Bank will also require extensive repairs before being deemed airworthy. Liat 2020 emerges as the successor to Liat 1974. The new airline is a partnership between regional governments and Nigerian airline Air Peace, which owns 70% of its shares. The United Nations Security Council has expressed concern about the possible escalation of tensions between Guyana and Venezuela as the two countries continue to claim ownership of the Essequibo region. The UN Security Council met in private last Tuesday to discuss the recent developments regarding the territorial dispute at the request of Guyana's President Dr. Irfan Ali in an April 5th letter he had submitted to the Council. The dispute over the Essequibo region is home to over roughly 125,000 of Guyana's 800,000 citizens, stretches back to the 19th century when Guyana was under colonial rule. Venezuela has laid claim to the Essequibo region since 1841, when it argued that the British Empire had encroached on Venezuelan territory in its acquisition of the territory of then British Guiana from the Netherlands. It has also challenged the validity of the 1899 Paris Arbitral Award, through which the border between Venezuela and British Guyana was decided. On the international scene, heavy rains have killed 18 people in Oman as flash floods have hit the United Arab Emirates, the UAE. Rescue teams continue their search for two missing people in Oman as bad weather disrupts travel. According to Al Jazeera, the death toll announced on Tuesday included at least 9 school children and their driver, whose vehicle was washed away by the flood waters. The National Committee for Emergency Management said rescue teams were still searching for two missing people. The government gave administrative staff in public and private sectors the day off due to the bad weather conditions in several provinces, while remote work was recommended in other parts of the Sultanate. Residents were also urged to evacuate to shelters if they felt they were in danger or asked by authorities to do so. Finally, in sports, Rafael Nadal says he is just trying to enjoy every moment as he returns to the tour for the first time since January at this week's Barcelona Open. After almost a year out with injuries, Nadal returned in Brisbane but has not played since because of a hip issue. The 37-year-old said it means a lot to play one more time in Barcelona, adding further to the suggestion that this will be his last year on tour. I can't give you an injury update because the list is long, Nadal said. I can only tell you that today I feel myself enough good to be on the court tomorrow, and that for me is so important. Nadal, a 22-time Grand Slam singles champion, has been plagued by injuries in recent years. After pulling out of last year's French Open, he said he planned to retire after the 2024 season, but on his return in Brisbane, he suggested he may continue if fit. This has been WeFM's Midday News. I have been your presenter, Rajiv Providence. Join us again at 3 o'clock for WeFM's 3 p.m. news. WeFM's Midday News is brought to you with the kind compliments of Court St. Vincent Limited.
Just for you at Quartz Optical. Get 15% off. When you bring in your prescription from any other eye care provider, we'll give you 15% off the cost of your frames and lenses. So visit us today and get 15% off. Offer valid on cash and credit purchases. Conditions apply. See in-store for details. Quartz Optical. Value you can see.